You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 186. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm mayoral candidate Jeff Barnhart.
Comic Reflections is brought to you by Rhymes with Geek. You can find our show, plus many other cool podcasts like the all-new Anti-Fanboy, Super Podcasto Magnifico, and Ultimate Facepalm at rhymeswithgeek.com. And if you enjoy this show, please subscribe to us on either iTunes or Stitcher.
Okay.
Yeah. So today we're going to open with a book that's going to wrap up our Spider-Man cycle that we've been going through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
It's not one of my favorite Spider-Mans, but it's okay. I would like to see where the Doc Ock Aunt May romance is going. So.
Well,
do they have a kid?
No, it's a ruse. You know, you've seen that famous cover with Doc Ock marrying Aunt May on it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work out.
Big surprise.
Yeah. So, anyway, we're going to talk about Amazing Spider-Man number 117. And the story is called The Deadly Designs of the Disruptor. It was plotted by Stan Lee and scripted by Jerry Conway. With art penciled by John Romita. Inked by John Romita, Jim Mooney, and... Jim Mooney, and Tony Mortellano. So
Mortellero.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, my notes I may have
Okay.
Sometimes the stroke of a pen, because I've never seen that guy's name in anything we've done before.
There's a lot of people on this, looks like.
Yeah.
That's usually a bad sign. The more writers for like a movie usually means the movie's worse.
Well, no, it's just three different inkers. That's all.
Yeah.
That they parceled out the inking job between three people. That's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah, I guess. That's kind of odd.
It's not that unusual.
It's not? Okay.
You know, one or two. A third is a little out of the ordinary, but, whatever. So what's going on here?
All right, we see Spider-Man is in mufti, his civilian clothes, and he's keeping this building from falling down using his webs. And I thought it was significant. He's worried about killing Gwen. And spoiler alert, Gwen dies eventually.
Yeah.
And it's his fault. Well, kind of. And did they know they were going to kill Gwen even at this time? Or
no, I think Jerry Conway dreamed it up, and that's I don't think it's terribly much further.
Yeah, but I've seen this before, worrying about Gwen dying and all this. But of course, worrying about your girlfriend dying, this is serious. So maybe.
Yeah. And I recently read a thing about that talked about this. It was an interview with John Romita, and he was saying, and I think he and Jerry Conway kind of dreamed it up together, because John Romita, he remembered one of the most poignant moments in I think it was either Terry and the Pirates or Steve Canyon, was when somebody's girlfriend was killed and dramatically, and it was something that people really remembered. And so you're like, what's the most dramatic thing that you can do? Oh, yeah, you kill their girl, not just somebody close to them. It's like, this really hits home. So I think between the two of them, they made a decision to kill off Gwen. And Stan Lee didn't know about it until after the fact.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other girlfriends being killed. Nothing.
Oh, well.
I'm sure there's a bunch of them, but
it's become kind of a modern cliche that is often referred to as fridging, because Green Lantern Kyle Rayner, his girlfriend, was killed by a supervillain and stuffed in a refrigerator.
Oh.
And then that became kind of like it's using women as a plot device rather than a whole character. Like, killing off a girlfriend or a wife to antagonize or to harm the more important male character. And it can be done well. I can think of an example of, okay, this editorially this worked and had lasting repercussions and was good, but other times it's real cheap.
Yeah, with the Iceman being gay and all that stuff, and
well, that's another thing altogether.
I know, but it's now it's just gimmicks, and a lot of time I don't
think
mind
that
all that stuff happening.
Example is a gimmick.
You know what I'm saying?
He's been around for 50 years, and he's been consistently undeveloped and underwritten as a character. So him turning out to have been closeted gay doesn't ring false.
Okay.
I think it's fine. I think it's a good move.
He's never been one of my favorite characters.
Well,
I
yeah.
always thought he's kind of boring.
Exactly. All he's ever been is, not a jerk version of Johnny Storm.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think it's the right move.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah. There's only we have 3 most famous girlfriends. One's Gwen.
Sure.
One is Lois Lane.
Mm-hmm.
And one, I guess, is Pepper Potts. I think is
an Iron Man.
An Iron Man. I mean, I think
Sure.
that's a big 3. And I really can't. I know there's other ones.
I could think of plenty of wives and girlfriends, but
but those are the big ones. I think that people know, and people only know Pepper Potts because of the movies. And,
well,
I mean,
people who've read the comics certainly know Pepper. She's been
but these names, people know them who are not comic book nerds. I
Sure.
guess. But I'm not. I'm half asking.
I mean, but really, people who aren't into comics,
Mm-hmm.
they know who Mary Jane Watson is, and they know who Lois Lane are.
Yeah, and Gwen Stacy.
Sure.
And now they know who Pepper Potts, and that's about it.
Where are you going with this?
No, I'm just one. Is this okay? They killed Gwen because she was big, and that's why I made a big show, a big stink or whatever. And
Yeah.
and it would not have mattered hardly anywhere else. Lois Lane dying would have been something else.
Yeah.
But that's.
If they had Lois Lane die and it wasn't an imaginary story,
Mm-hmm.
they'd be rioting in the streets.
Yeah.
But
Wouldn't that be hilarious? I get that right. But yeah, okay. But it's.
I bet you
okay,
would getting
yeah.
that right.
But I mean, he really here. Spider-Man's really worried about Gwen.
Yeah.
She can't. It'll be my fault. She dies. My fault. So okay.
There's foreshadowing.
All right. So Spider-Man, he makes a shield so he can hide behind, so people don't see who he is. And there's this mayoral election going on, and
Who's the candidate again?
I
know this name.
Raleigh.
Oh, Richard Raleigh.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And he's bad because J. Jonah Jameson likes him.
Yeah. But people don't seem to know anything really much about Richard Raleigh.
Yeah, that's always a bad sign.
Yeah.
He's probably a super villain or something.
Probably.
Dr. Doom, for all I know.
Yeah.
You don't think he looks like, but there's a TV reporter who looks like Geraldo Rivera. Because Geraldo used to have really long hair.
Yeah, and the porn stash.
Yeah.
But I looked at this and I'm like, why is Frank Zappa covering the news? Where he looks like Tony Orlando.
Yeah, it does look like Tony Orlando, who
Yeah.
looked like Geraldo.
Okay, so.
All right. So, all right. Peter gets back, and he's with Gwen, and
Mary Jane's around, too.
And they're having a good time. And who is this goober?
The villain is the Disruptor.
Yeah. That's not a bad name.
Yeah, and he's got some big Frankenstein monster type android or something
Mm-hmm.
that
The
is
Smasher.
the Smasher. Yes, I mean, gosh, the Disruptor is all of the villain cliches, all of them.
Yeah, and he kind of does it boringly. And he beats up on his minions.
Yeah, and his costume, he looks kind of like the Masked Marauder, the Daredevil villain, who is also a bundle of cliches, but he's interesting.
Okay, I don't know him.
We've read some.
Have we?
We have.
Okay.
And we may again, but I don't know.
Oh, it's so forgettable. I forgot it.
Okay.
But, I don't. Maybe not.
So anyway, J. Jonah Jameson is really eager to back Richard Raleigh, and Robbie Robertson, the smart one, is of course skeptical, and he's trying to dig up something on him.
Right. And he's talking about Osborn, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Norman Osborn, who is his Green Goblin alter ego has been sublimated or whatever, or is dormant.
Yeah. We get Aunt May Doc Ock thing.
I think she's staying at Doc Ock's house. This is building towards, I think, that famous ridiculous cover where she's going to marry Doc Ock.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't work out. And their age difference is pretty significant too.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got to be 75 at least, and he's probably in his 50s.
Right. And she's not rich. So.
No. So
And
I
she's
don't.
not particularly good looking.
And
I
I
mean, she's
don't.
a nice old lady. Don't get me wrong, but she's
Yeah, I don't remember what the angle was.
yeah. Um, there had to be an angle.
Yeah.
All right, so
So
there's a big fight,
with
and,
Spidey and the Disruptor and the Smasher.
oh no, the Smasher just he gets born,
Mm-hmm.
and yay, we got a huge monster, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty not that interesting issue.
Yeah.
So here's I'm going to reveal something to you.
Mhm.
Richard Raleigh is the Disruptor. But he's
Weird.
trying to assassinate, the Disruptor's trying to assassinate Richard Raleigh, or at least make it appear like he's trying to assassinate him.
Oh, okay. I think I wondered about that, but then I was proven wrong later in the issue.
Yeah.
So, oh, well, he's really mad at Richard Raleigh, so wonder what's going on.
Either the Disruptor is like schizophrenic, and he doesn't really, and they're not, and they're either they're two personalities unaware of each other, or the Disruptor's, aka Richard Raleigh, his plan is to seem put upon and persecuted by, someone's trying to kill him, and that will actually go in his favor in the election. Like, people will vote for him.
Yeah. And there's some weird thing about stealing voter files. I don't get that. So
I don't know.
So I guess we'll never know.
Well, we will someday.
Okay.
When we transition to doing the essential volumes, we'll read the full arc of that.
Okay.
So let's talk about this other issue. It's Astonishing Tales number 5. It's the April of 1971 issue, and this is really kind of this is the Bronze Age, and it's Marvel kind of harking back to the 60s when they had their books that had two co-features, like Tales of Suspense had Captain America and Iron Man, Strange Tales had Nick Fury and Doctor Strange, okay, and this has Ka-Zar the Savage in the lead feature, and the backup is Doctor Doom.
Yeah. Interesting combination there. It doesn't look like there's... I'm sure there's comic book fans who like both of these, but you would think they would put in another jungle thing or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's neither one. I mean, Doctor Doom is cool, but I think if it was like Doctor Doom and Captain America or something was the lead feature, I think the book would sell better. You know, Jungle Comics, Ka-Zar's cool. He is just Marvel's Tarzan, though.
Yeah.
You know, and I like him, but I don't understand how this guy keeps getting a book because I just don't see him as carrying a title. But here, as a co-feature, I can buy it. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's actually really beautifully drawn.
Yeah, let me give.
Panel?
Yeah, let me give the credits here. The Ka-Zar story in this issue is called Rampage, and it was written by Jerry Conway, and the art is penciled by Barry Windsor Smith, and inked by Frank Giacoia. Now, Barry Windsor Smith's major claim to fame is he was the original artist on Conan at Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a few other things, you know, guesting. I remember reading an issue of Avengers that he did a guest art on, and I really disliked it. But yeah, that's one of his major claim to fame is doing Conan before John Buscema took over, and the book really blew up. But
yeah, good job here. I love the furry, the furry pterodactyl, which is ironically accurate.
Yeah,
pterodactyls and dinosaurs. I don't know if they'll ever do this in movies, but have feathered dinosaurs because it just sounds ridiculous. But that's what they were.
Sure. And it's funny because you'll see an inconsistency. You'll see sometimes pterodactyls with feathers and other times not. Oh well. Yeah. But anyway, then Splash Panel, Ka-Zar is the captive of Zaladane. She's the high priestess of the mad god Garok. And she's on her pterodactyl, and she's got Ka-Zar in her clutches.
Yeah, and he's fighting like crazy. And so she's not really dressed for war. Barefoot and I don't know.
She's the high priestess of a cult, though, so that's what she's about.
So, well, yeah, Ka-Zar crashes a pterodactyl and saves the girl, even though she doesn't. She's really mean and nasty.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the bad guy. He is a petrified god.
Yeah, Garrock. And it's funny because go ahead.
He's a petrified man who turned into a god, I guess. Is that the...
Here's the thing. He was a guy. He is the vessel for Garrock, the sun god or something, and he's known as the Petrified Man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the very first time I ever read an X-Men comic, the X-Men were in the Savage Land and they fought Garrock. And so that was my introduction to them, and their first villain I ever saw from them fight was him. So I have kind of some fondness for this character, and he looks cool. He looks like a skinny Darkseid.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the girl takes
Zaladin.
She takes Ka-Zar to where the god is, a temple.
Yeah.
And he's got to fight this big blue ape thing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big fight.
Yeah.
So we discover that the petrified man wants peace, so he's going to kill everything. And it's sort of, good plan, Gandhi.
Oh.
Yeah. Man, it's kind of odd.
Yeah, it is really weird, but I mean, I enjoyed this.
Yeah,
and for me to enjoy a Barry Windsor Smith drawn story, wow, that says something.
I think it's well drawn.
Yeah, I'm just not really a big fan of his, but that's just my personal taste. Mm-hmm. But he's in top form here, I think. I like Garrock, and Ka-Zar is interesting.
Some of it's okay, then some of it is just brilliant and beautiful. And so it's kind of hit and miss on it, but it's pretty cool. Oh, and the bad girl dies. Which is
but not bad. Really.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, Zaladin, she's alive at least until 1993.
Yeah. She's got a goofball helmet. I couldn't tell if it was her hair or her helmet, but
it's her headdress.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, I don't think I ever quite made that distinction either. So where does the cliffhanger leave off?
Hey, just get out of here. Yeah.
Oh, so Ka-Zar beat the big blue ape and Garrock, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a buddy, and
Tonga.
Okay.
Tonga's his friend, and of course Zabu's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but let's move on to the really cool part of this issue.
Why is this the first one?
What do you mean?
Why is this? This should be the cover of the thing. It's got Dr. Doom and the Red Skull.
Right. I would think that they would really try to play up the Dr. Doom angle, but the covers actually were kind of
defecated, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
So
I like that word.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it is. So, and it's the classic Marvel, 2-feature book method of doing that. That's how they always did Tales of Suspense and Strange Tales as well. Anyway, this Dr. Doom story is called A Land Enslaved. It was written by Larry Lieber, Stan Lee's brother. And because, Stan Lee is Stanley Lieber.
Right.
Okay. But, excuse me, and penciled by George Tuska and inked by Mike Esposito. Now, a lot of people are really down on George Tuska in the 70s. But I think this is, his better days were in the Golden Age. But this is, I think, as far as his Bronze Age material, this is really, really good stuff. But anyway, Dr. Doom is in Latveria, or the Red Skull has taken over Latveria while Dr. Doom was on vacation. And now Dr. Doom's comes home and has to take it back.
Yeah, and the Red Skull doesn't waste any time. It's going to be the Fourth Reich. And already has the inhabitants goose-stepping, and he's concentrating people in the concentration camps, and it's just, I don't know, it's a wonderful story, lots and lots of monologuing. I love it.
And, you get the two best monologuers in the business, the Red Skull and Dr. Doom.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Doom's kind of stupid.
Is he?
Well...
You mean the Red Skull?
Sorry, you're right. The Red Skull. The Red Skull is celebrating, and Dr. Doom isn't even back yet. I would celebrate after I kill Dr. Doom. I wouldn't be popping no corks until Dr. Doom is... I mean...
He's 6 feet under.
Oh, no. I would slice Doctor Doom in 90 pieces and roast him or something, and make sure he's dead and won't come back.
Yeah.
And I would not. Well, like Red Skull will do. Oh, I'll put you in this dungeon and see ya. For crying out loud.
Which he does. Let's talk about that.
All right. Yeah. All right.
So Doctor Doom shows back up.
And he's ticked off because he gets shot at by his own folks.
Right.
Oh, so Doctor Doom fights pretty cool, and let's see, and Red Skull's got to think of something to do, and let's see, put some kind of chemi sleep gas.
Of course.
Knocks him out. So
which is weird. Doctor Doom's costume, you'd think, would have a gas mask built in.
You would think. I would. If I was an evil warlord, I had to wear a mask.
Yeah.
So they put him in a sarcophagus.
Yeah, they put him in this metal case, and they just leave him.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, he's taken care of. The most dangerous man in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
course, the Red Skull thinks he's the most dangerous man in the world.
Well, if I was the most dangerous man in the world, I'd be worried about the second most dangerous man in the world.
Right?
Well, if there's a internet meme or something about what you would do if you were evil warlord, and there's some things, and this is one of them.
Right.
You kill the people. You don't sit and talk and tell them your plan and lord it them. You just kill who's ever coming after you.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, Doctor Doom is trapped in this metal case, but he just slowly builds up power, and then busts out of it.
Yeah.
Well, and all the while, the Red Skull is further subjugating the people of Latveria.
Yeah, they're slapping them, and they just want no questions, no arguments, nothing but obedience. Do you hear? Obedience.
Which you think they'd be used to that.
Yeah, no.
Doctor Doom is, Doctor Doom was a despot, and they certainly obeyed him. To the point where he didn't have to slap people, he didn't have to rough people up.
Right.
But the Red Skull shows around and is really laying it on a bit thick.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if they had a Latvian comic book or a novel or a movie about living under Doctor Doom, and this Red Skull, he's pretty bad, but he dresses nicer or something.
I don't know. But the thing is, it's like, and you know how Doctor Doom gets really pissed about people showing him up or making him look bad or taking things that are his.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think he would kill the Red Skull.
Yeah.
Totally. But that's not what he does.
Yeah.
So he does beat the Red Skull's men.
But by unplugging the power.
Right.
I would think that any kind of weapon would be self-powered. When a weapon that you have to plug into the wall is not a good weapon.
Right. Well, that's why the Nazis lost World War II.
Yeah.
That's why the Red Skull is always, kind of on the run.
Yeah.
And in hiding. Anyway, so Doctor Doom fights all of the Red Skull's henchmen. Yeah. And then he chases down the Red Skull.
Yeah. Well, he fights the henchmen, and they have one of them's really strong, and he gets his butt kicked. One of them uses a towel.
Oh yeah, these are the exiles,
yeah.
And one of them, I think he's a guy one of them's a guy in a wheelchair, but ooh, scary. But one guy uses scarves or something stupid like that.
And another uses a whip, and
Doctor Doom of course, he makes short work of them.
Right.
And then he subjects these guys to this hypno gas and makes them think that they're shrunk. And then he sends them to the moon or something.
No, he sends them to an island.
Yeah. Instead of just killing them. Which you would think Doctor Doom would do.
Okay, so I guess Doctor Doom's a nice guy. Doesn't want to kill anybody. Right.
Right.
But why shrink them down?
He doesn't shrink them down. He just lets them think that they're shrunk down.
Yeah, but why do that? Why don't I just kick their ass again and again and then send them on? That's what I would do.
Right.
If I was going to let them live, they'd get an ass whooping.
Yeah, and they totally deserve it.
Yeah.
Especially the Red Skull. Yeah. But I think it's because, Dr. Doom and the Red Skull are like the number 1 and 2 like supervillains of Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
You don't kill the Red Skull.
Oh, yeah. So I understand why they didn't kill him, but I don't still understand what's with the shrinking. Is this
It's a plot device.
Yeah, I guess.
But what I really want to see is like just is one panel of Dr. Doom really socking Red Skull in the face, just really hard.
I think that would kill him though, because isn't
Because
Dr. Doom is super strong?
In the armor, sure.
Yeah. But Red Skull, does he have any superpowers?
I think at some point he got like the super soldier serum so he could go toe to toe with Captain America. But I don't know exactly when. So I don't know if he really does. He could be just all bluster and evil.
Yeah, he could just have the super jerk off power or something. I don't know. He's just really a really bad guy. He's one of my least.
I like him. He's evil. He's ruthless.
It's kind of Johnny One Note, but it's kind of fun because he's so over the top evilness.
Yeah.
So
he's one of those guys who like glower with his arms behind his back, looking over a veranda with a cigarette in the cigarette holder, and that's supposed to be impressive.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
but
oh man,
he's just such a visually striking guy, and he always gets to say like the evilest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's not a physical powerhouse.
But like, I think they shrunk him so they have this panel here of Dr. Doom, huge Dr. Doom with these little bitty guys, and it looks really cool. And I think that's why they did it.
Well, sure.
And he's got this big rocket in his hand, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, plus it's a great way to mess with him. Like, holy crap. Yeah. Like, to make Doom seem more imposing and powerful. That's a reason to let him live, because he wants them to fear him. He loves that.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Because having somebody fear him, maybe that's better. He gets something more out of it than just killing.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just conjecturing.
All right.
But let's talk about Astonishing Tales number 6. It's the June of 1971 issue of this series. And we're going to pick up right where we left off in both of these serials. Mm-hmm. The lead story, of course, is with Ka-Zar, and the story is called Beware the Winds of Death. And it's written by Jerry Conway, penciled by Barry Windsor Smith, and inked by Bill Everett. Which, nice.
Yeah.
Bill Everett, of course, the Golden Age creator of The Submariner. And this is near the end of his career, but he really bounced back strong after he sobered up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was,
very interestingly drawn, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I would have liked to have seen Bill Everett draw this, but, oh well.
Yeah. Ka-Zar meets another god who wants to kill everybody. What is up with that?
Like, one issue later, it's the same thing? Or not totally the same, but yeah. The Savage Land is a crazy place.
Yeah.
Lots of mad gods, lots of weirdness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so they see this lightning show, and here comes this god who's wearing... he is riding a flame-colored horse, and it looks kind of Nordic or Grecian.
Sure.
And he is angry about, I think his girlfriend dying, so he wants to kill everybody.
Yeah. Now there's a subplot of a girl trying to track down Ka-Zar. Of course, Ka-Zar is Lord Kevin Plunder of England, and she's, visiting his home in England. And they're like, well, he's not here. He's in the Savage Land.
Yeah.
So more of that later. But anyway.
Yeah, although, in defense of the god, his girlfriend's a babe.
True.
So I'd be mad too, but
like George C. Scott, man.
Yeah. Charles Bronson, mad.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. The National Lampoon did a little contest. Who's angrier, George C. Scott or Kirk Douglas?
That's funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
The Vikings. That's one of my favorite Kirk Douglas
movies.
movies.
To watch that.
You've never seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's good.
I'm a Kirk Douglas fan and a George C. Scott fan.
Well, here's the thing, and it's I'm not sure if it's before or after Spartacus, but it's around the same time, and it's him and Tony Curtis as well.
Yeah.
And another pairing of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I like Tony Curtis.
Yeah, but no, The Vikings is a cool movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, actually, the horse, looking at it, has like these tentacles coming out of his mane. It's pretty cool.
yeah,
And the god has this cool scepter.
what's his name?
Um,
Is it like Damien or something like that?
I am not sure.
I don't remember.
Um,
It doesn't matter so much. I think
Yeah.
he's just in this one issue. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wants to kill everybody. So, oh well.
Yeah. And
I don't know what the plot in England, what's going on with that. I
that's
have no
something that will carry on later in other
Okay.
issues. This girl is trying to find Ka-Zar.
But as someone who's popped in here, it's kind of like, why do I care about this?
Right. I think especially on a book like this, where you're only getting 10 to 12 pages every 2 months, let's cut down on the subplots, shall we?
Yeah.
You know, you can introduce that girl in, where in the issue where you're going to have the payoff of that.
Mm-hmm.
She traveled to the Savage Land, So anyway, Ka-Zar's hanging out with the Fall people. They're this, I guess, native tribe of there, and
I
they're
think Tonga, his buddy, is with them.
yeah, and the Fall people they're Mohicans, they have Mohawks, but they're white people, I think.
I don't know.
So, oh, that's right. This is split up, and the next issue will also have stuff with this
Yeah.
mad god.
So we don't know what happens with next. So I'm sure the god dies. Or learns his lesson, becomes a nice dude. Who knows? So.
We will find out because we have the next issue. We'll talk about it next week.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh man, your enthusiasm is so infectious,
I
Jeff.
know. All right, now here's something to be enthusiastic about.
Yeah, that's the Doctor Doom backup. Which man, this really should be the lead feature.
Mhm.
But
And not bifurcate. It should be Doctor Doom versus Black Panther, and that should be the whole thing with maybe in the corner.
oh yeah, plus
Ka-Zar,
Ka-Zar if
Yeah.
you care.
Yeah,
But I mean, this series came out like trying to sell it to Ka-Zar. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh, trying to sell
God bless
Ka-Zar
America.
as a lead feature.
Mhm.
But anyway, this story is called "The Tentacles of the Tyrant," written again by Larry Lieber, pencils by George Tuska, and inked by Mike Esposito. I like this.
Yeah, I don't think the Black Panther is that much of a tyrant. Oh, they're talking about Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I am so intrigued with the idea of two heads of state fighting each other.
Yeah.
Was this ever done before?
I would be. Well, I mean, when Doctor Doom would fight Namor, because Namor's the king
Yeah.
of Atlantis,
Yeah.
really, or prince, or
And
whatever.
when Churchill fights Hitler.
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
Yeah, but they could do a lot more on this, and they declare war, and that's a good story and a plot you could have a lot of fun with,
Yeah.
and this is the only time I hear about it. But it's sort of, I kind of like the idea that Doctor Doom has diplomatic immunity, and
Just like the bad guy from Lethal Weapon 2.
oh yeah,
Yeah, but anyway.
but it's neat and interesting that he has
Yeah.
a country and he's got to go back, and
Yeah.
all the crops didn't come in this time. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, Lex Luthor. Is he the ruler of Lexor, the planet? Or they just love him?
Is that the one where he fights Superman and they think Superman's a bad guy?
Yeah.
I love that story. I think
Yeah.
I think that
I mean,
is
there's
my
more than
favorite
one
comic
story.
book story of all time.
There is more than one story.
Is there?
Yeah, he goes to Lexor more than once. Not just
Oh
the
no,
one-off.
but the big one, the first one. So
Okay.
I don't know of the other ones, but I don't know.
I just recently read the one, it's an annual in the 80s, and the annual introduces the new Luthor in his cool power suit, Save Your Groaning, and also the new Brainiac at that time, Save Your Groaning. But Lexor is destroyed in a battle with Superman. And then, because Lex Luthor was feeling like, no, I'll just leave Earth. I'm tired of trying to kill Superman, and I can be happy on
You
Lexor.
should have said that years ago.
And then he creates this like pole or something to he plants it into the planet's core to stabilize it, so it won't blow up like Krypton did, because internal pressures are threatening to destroy Lexor.
Yeah.
Superman shows up because Luthor committed a crime before he left, so he was going to try and extradite him. And their battle, Luthor introduces this power suit. In their battle, Lex accidentally destroys Lexor.
Oh. The one place in the universe that likes him, he has to destroy it.
By accident. And so then he lost his wife and his son, and so his hatred for Superman is renewed. And so it's so funny because they did this like only a couple years before Crisis.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years before that. But yeah.
I don't know. But the Lexor story, man, I love that.
That's a great part of the Superman mythology. That it's one of my favorite things. But anyway, what about Doctor Doom?
Yeah. Well, Doctor Doom is torturing this guy to find vibranium.
Yeah.
And it's in this little country in Africa that just happens to be ruled by the Black Panther.
Yeah, Wakanda. And Doctor Doom needs that vibranium because it's the most kick-ass metal there is, or something.
Oh,
and this is before adamantium is introduced, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, because that's like 75 when the 74 or 5, when Wolverine gets introduced.
Yeah. So Doctor Doom sends this. It's like a drone. It's a drone eagle.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of cool. So it
reminds me of remember on the Transformers, Megatron had that guy Laserbeak, and he was the spy.
Yeah. Oh,
of course he was sent. I guess Laserbeak was one of Soundwave's cassette tapes, wasn't he? Yeah, that's right. Anyway,
oh yeah.
I loved Soundwave too.
And there's a poacher. Oh, I see an eagle. He's going to shoot him, and Doctor Doom disagrees with him and blows the guy up
with the eagle. It's great,
and it's a hole because he leaves a crater in the ground, so you know the guy is dead. So.
Yeah.
All right. So they go down. The eagle goes down there, finds everything he needs. Okay, Doctor Doom takes a rocket to the Earth.
I love he can't just go to Latvia or to Wakanda. He has to drill into the Earth and go underneath.
Yeah, he can't just take TWA or something.
Right.
Oh, and it's not that far away too. What is it? I guess he wants to surprise people.
Yeah, I guess he wants to try and do it under the nose of the Black Panther, but also, okay. I guess that since Wakanda is somehow not that far from Latveria, which geography, Africa and vaguely Eastern European, you would think it'd be kind of far.
Oh, it's not as far as from here. Actually, it's probably not as far as Boston to San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends. If it's in South Africa.
Yeah.
So we don't really.
No.
Actually, hold on. We have a picture.
Do we?
A map. But
because I thought Wakanda, part of the whole gimmick was it's in Africa, but it's hidden, so nobody knows exactly knows.
Oh, they don't show where it's at.
Yeah, that's
in Europe. That's a starting point. Then there's a dotted line, and it ends in the Mediterranean. I don't think Wakanda is in the Mediterranean.
You're right.
Nice little montage of the Dr. Doomobile coming and.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Let's see. Oh, and Black Panther is part of the Avengers here, and this is the African brothers are in danger. So.
Yeah,
I like
that's
the Black
right.
Panther.
He is cool.
He's my favorite black
superhero.
Yeah. Luke Cage is pretty cool too, but I think. Actually, Black Panther is one of my favorites anyway. The idea of a hero owning a country is fascinating, and they should really do more with it.
Yeah, so. Now he is very cool, and there are other good black superheroes, the Falcon, and people harp on Black Lightning, but I think he's cool. Mm-hmm. He's just a bunch of stereotypes kind of thrown together. Yeah. I mean, so is Luke Cage, though, at least originally.
Yeah, but Luke Cage was fun stereotypes or some of that. It was just goofing off on the Shaft movies and all that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool.
Yeah. But yeah, Black Lightning is trying to be Shaft mixed with, Sidney Poitier and To Serve with Love or something.
Ooh.
So it doesn't quite mesh well. But
Black Panther is Sidney Poitier.
Yeah. And Black Lightning is kind of trying to be both.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No thanks. All right, so there's gonna be a fight, and we don't know. So
we will know. So we were gonna have another issue of Spider-Man to read, but I was reading it, and then, there was a bunch of pages missing in the middle. So I had a last-minute replacement. This issue of Plastic Man that we're going to talk about.
All right.
And this is Plastic Man number 20. Can you tell me what month that came out? What year and month? Because I think
1977, October, November, 1977.
Okay. Now, this is the final issue of Plastic Man. Plastic Man, funny thing. Okay. He was a character at Quality Comics in the Golden Age and was a big hit. Now, when Quality went under, DC bought a lot of their properties and sat on pretty much all of them, including Plastic Man. They barely used Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters, and I think the only one really that they kept continuously publications were, I think, Our Army at War, which later debuted Sergeant Rock, and Blackhawk. Who is great. I enjoy Blackhawk. We've read some Blackhawk. We will again.
I can't remember.
There, it's the international team of fighter pilots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but Plastic Man, DC even created another stretching hero, the Elongated Man, because they forgot they owned him. Plastic Man.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
Yeah, but Elongated Man is very different. Plastic Man has always been more cartoony and more about shape changing, and Elongated Man is more, he stretches, but he's about using his detective skills. So in the 60s, there was a 10-issue revival of Plastic Man that didn't take. It wasn't a hit. And then other than the occasional guest appearance in like The Brave and the Bold with Batman, Plastic Man didn't really show up so much. In the 70s, again, they revived him for another 10 issues. That didn't happen. He did get an animated series, though.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is lousy. It's don't watch it.
Yeah, animated superheroes weren't good until now.
Yeah.
The original Spider-Man was pretty cool.
And I love the Hanna-Barbera Fantastic Four cartoon. There's fun. There are good ones.
I can't remember. I know I've seen it. I can't remember anything of it. But the
it has the Fantastic Four in it.
Okay. Then narrows it down. Captain America and the Hulk, and I remember that.
I have those at home. They're fun.
They're awful though.
But here's the thing: it's very limited animation, and they're just taking like the actual comic pages and kind of doing limited animation with them. But at the same time, I'm getting to see Jack Kirby's art on the screen.
Yeah,
which is awesome. So there's drawbacks and strengths to it. The Marvel Superheroes cartoon shows, that's what that's from. It's very fun.
Yeah.
Because they had Thor and had Namor and the Hulk and Iron Man and Cap.
I don't remember Namor's theme song. I love the theme songs.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
Yeah,
Captain America's is probably the best.
Captain America
throws his mighty shield.
Oh, Iron. Let's see.
I don't remember Iron Man's.
I forgot Iron Man's real name. Tony Stark, Man of Steel. It's cool exec. No.
Yeah.
He has appeal. He's a cool exec with the heart of steel.
Yeah.
As Iron Man.
Yeah, that's
destroys
right.
people. This is a full circle.
I like Thor's is really fun too. It's like the golden halls of Asgard. And it starts off like that.
Wow.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, the Hulk one is Hulk or something.
it's
yeah, but
I think they were like, we're out of ideas by the time they came up with that theme. But
actually, that's rather appropriate. I need to watch that again because I saw it as a kid.
I have them, and I haven't even watched all of them.
It's like Johnny Quest, and as a young kid, I loved it. It was great.
Oh,
then
Johnny
I was
Quest
a teenager, and I says, "Oh, this is corny." And then later on, I says, "Wow, this is really good," and it's got one of the greatest jazz soundtracks of any show ever.
Oh yeah.
And so I went, a big valley of dislike, and then so I don't know. It's like when you.
I've come that way full circle with the old Batman TV show like that. Because I loved it when I was a kid. Loved it. And then thought it was dumb, at that age where you think everything is lame.
Yeah.
And then I've come back around like, no, yeah, this was goofy, but this was loads of fun.
Right.
But yeah, the Johnny Quest and the Fantastic Four cartoon of those, both from, I think, the late 60s, they're like right thing at the right time. And they're just, both of them really wonderful. But yeah.
All right. Well, Plastic Man.
Plastic Man.
He's trying to get into a restricted area.
Oh, yeah, let me give the credits real quick.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. The story is called The Snooping Snitches, and it was... yeah, I know.
Actually, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's a good Plastic Man joke.
Yeah. And it's written by John O'Bano with pencils, beautiful work by Ramona Fradon of Aquaman and Metamorpho fame, and then she would go on and do the Super Friends also. And inked by Bob Smith. So.
Mm-hmm. So. All right. It's kind of an anti-government thing here. They're trying to get into this secret army base.
Plastic Man and Woozy Winks.
Yeah. I just realized my wife has a World of Warcraft character named Woozy. I want to tell her where this came from. So I might have to keep...
Well, I don't think Woozy... I'm sure that was a word before Woozy Winks, but...
Yeah, but maybe so.
Okay.
But there was a definite anti-government... there's conspiracies in the government and this, which we would not find before the 70s.
Sure.
And so in the comic book especially, or even...
Well, I think you're right. I think you're onto something, because I think prior to that, even in the turbulent 60s, you know, in comics anyway, be it Marvel or DC, the establishment is like, hey, we want to support the, you know.
Yeah. I mean, the turbulent 60s are only turbulent for about 2% of the population. That's what it wasn't that. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't. Not that many people rioted. And it seemed like 100,000 people. Yeah, it was about 200 million people. So it's but there are big things changing. But it's not like everybody turned into a hippie overnight. So that's what I'm trying to say.
I would agree.
Okay, well you should. That would be wise. Okay, Woozy has not changed in 50 years, so which is kind of, I used to irritate me, but now I think it's kind of charming.
Yeah, he has his goofy kind of like straw, like banjo player hat.
And Wonder Bread shirt.
Yeah.
Alright, so they're trying to get into his military base, and they don't know what's going on, and the military is mad about it, so they tell him to take a hike, but Woozy's by himself, and so what gives? A piece of luggage, oddly colored, falls out. And it gets kicked by one of these soldiers.
Yeah.
And then that's Plastic Man. Who would have knew? So, alright, so Plastic Man checks it out. And I don't think he really sees anything or something.
Yeah. So yeah, Plastic Man sneaks into this military compound.
And all it is a field.
Yeah.
But underneath they show that it's a huge complex.
Sure.
And so he goes back to Woozy and they have a picnic, and Plastic Man says, "Hey Woozy, you got a ladybug on your shoulder." He says, who cares? And he looks over. That's the size of an orange or something.
Right.
Yeah, that freaked me out too. It
Yeah.
matches his shirt.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so they're going off. Hey, we need to go sleep. So they go to this cabin and they look inside. Well, Plastic Man sticks his head through the chimney, which is, I guess it's kind of, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And he looks and he sees these two beautiful girls.
Yeah.
And said, hey, let's go there. And Woozy's kind of scuzzy here. So,
He's just trying to make time with these chicks, and it ain't happening.
yeah. And then this hippie guy and says, hey, see you later, chicks. And they just came to visit. So they're staying with this hippie guy instead of the chicks. And Woozy is kind of irritated.
Sure.
But the hippie guy isn't a hippie guy. It's a military spy. So
Yeah.
So they fire Plastic Man and Woozy. Although, who would hire Woozy?
Right?
You know.
And I guess that they're working for some branch of the government?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah. There's a scene, they're at a,
Class and Woozy are at a diner?
Yeah, and they give a guy, the proprietor, an IOU for $3.50, and the expression on the guy's face is great.
Yeah.
It's just, oh man, he's about to burst.
Yeah. I have to say about the art here, you know, Ramona Fradon is no Jack Cole,
mm-hmm.
but no one is.
Yeah.
She was actually very wonderful, and I don't think anyone working in comics at this time could have even come close to touching Plastic Man or doing it justice. So, in a roundabout way, that's my compliment to her. I don't know, but
right. Yeah, she knows how to draw girls. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, she is one.
You know, she knows how to draw women to be attracted to men, and which is, I guess she would know, but
yeah,
but only guys know what they like. But I guess, hey, we like this.
I mean, women also know what men respond to.
I suppose so.
So, and she's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well done. So, a Plastic Man pretends to be a pizza because he finds out that he's been followed. So he turns himself into a pizza, and the lovely waitress takes him outside.
Yeah.
And they get chased, and then they hit a cop.
Yeah.
And they find out that the secret military base was supposed to make big vegetables. And they're making big androids instead.
Oh. Well, that's not okay.
Yeah, and he's really big. Boozy runs away, and
oh yeah, so they fight this giant android.
Yeah,
he looks like remember the movie like The Amazing Colossal Man?
Yeah, that was a stinkeroo.
And its cool sequel, War of the Colossal Beast.
I did not see that one.
Well, I think those are fun. So
it was okay. Yeah,
I mean they're B movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got some cool Best of DC.
Yeah, that's a house ad for another Treasury edition.
Yeah. Last Days of Superman. Doorway into the Unknown. The Demon Within.
Yeah.
Dirty job. Those looked interesting. I like to read them. So, huge fight. Pretty cool battle, actually. I was kind of interested in how they're going to do this. And the military gets in there with airplanes, and how Plastic Man defeats him is by blindfolding him, so he trips and falls. It's just kind of cool.
Yeah.
So they're rehired and they're heroes, except they're still in trouble.
Yeah.
Because they were trespassing government property, and so they hide from the feds.
Plastic Man is shaped like a mailbox,
and he runs away.
Yeah. So one thing to note, if you notice at the bottom of the page here, it says next issue. When does it say?
During the 3rd week in September.
Okay, but there would be no next issue. This was the final of the series.
Sad. You know,
did you enjoy this comic? I thought it was okay, but
yeah, I like Plastic Man. This is not a great Plastic Man, but it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, I wouldn't get a subscription to this. You know what I mean?
No.
I wouldn't make sure that's in my box at the comic shop. You know.
I don't think there's anything new that I want to get a subscrition to. I still don't know anything, and nothing really interests me. So.
Ooh, last week I met a young man, a young fella. His name is Dan Scotty.
And it's love at first sight.
No, stop. Nice guy though. He might come and be a guest on the show.
Cool.
Because this kid is really knowledgeable about Golden Age stuff, and so I want to have a conversation. I had a nice conversation about that.
No, he would beat me in that. So.
Yeah, but also he's the artist on a new revival of The Spirit at Dynamite Comics, and so
that is cool.
I just added it to my pull list at the comic shop, and so should you, listeners.
What are they doing with
Ebony?
Yeah,
I saw some his preliminary sketches of Ebony. It's respectful. It's I think it's done in a way that is not offensive. I haven't read the book comic yet, but I've just seen his art. But it also kind of like is true enough to the classic look to like it's a nice happy medium.
I would not blame them for just getting rid of the character.
Yeah,
I think that's a shame.
I mean, I think Ebony as a supporting character for the Spirit is essential. It'd be like doing without Chief Dolan.
Yeah,
you know. Commissioner Dolan. Excuse me.
Yeah, the same difference. By being.
Well, Chief and Commissioner are two different ranks in policedom.
But it sounds like it makes a bit of difference to us. So,
sorry, I just my attempt to get things correct. That's all.
Okay, and keep trying.
Thank you.
But I have a theory. it's one of the, if everything we try. It looks like they. I'm sorry. It's trying to get academia is trying to put a pall about everything in the past. There was artistic work. It's
Sure.
all done by colonialists or racists or homophobes or sexist. And so that makes all this stuff you can't look at without, you can get in trouble for looking at the spirit in the college campus, and
Well, sure. If you're looking at that stuff in the 40s, like, yeah, it's sexist. Yeah, it's racist.
yeah, but everything is back then, and the
I'm not
the amount of stuff that you can look at and that won't cause any trouble is minuscule.
Yeah.
Which I think makes it so, hey, we got to get this new stuff that's written by us. Yay, what a coincidence.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but it's definitely something's going on. And
I think this kind of thing, lots of things like movements are cyclic.
Mhm.
And I think the kind of, as you describe it, casting a pall or a negative shadow on things of the past is something that will blow over in the long term, because we can have, we're looking at it or it's being interpreted with our modern lens of like, how awful. If a comic that did those things now came out, people would condemn it, and rightfully so.
I would condemn it as well.
But as a historian and somebody who just looks at this as a thing of the past, it is a window into the way things were, and that's important.
Mhm.
And I don't think that should be swept under the rug. I can enjoy the spirit despite its faults, because it's more than anything, it's a wonderful comic book.
Yeah, I was just listening to Charlie Chan novel, and it's supposedly super racist and all that, but the Biggers, I think his guy wrote it, or his Biggers, he wrote it because every other character at that time, and this is early 20th century, was either Fu Manchu or
Every other Asian character.
Yeah, and here is, and it was based on a real character and a real person,
Mm-hmm.
and who was a detective in Hawaii, and he was brilliant. He had some foibles, and he didn't use his articles, but he was a hero in the book, and was smarter than everybody else, and people liked him, and this guy was Charlie Chan was made to attack racism, and when Charlie Chan, the guy who played Olaf, was it
Werner Olin.
Olin, when he came to China, he was looked at like a god.
Sure.
The actor who played him, they loved him. But I don't know. Well, this is the way the world is, so we got to live with it. But we had a good time, and we'll see you in the funny pages.